Listen, I saw a lot of SJW play when they did get Phoenix. They won, Vicky. So this is definitely something to look out for today.
That's what I'm wondering. Like, are we going to be seeing those target bans like we've seen so many times with an MRI? Because if you let SJW rock Phoenix, that I honestly, Dogman is on point, because I think SJW is a very strong Phoenix. To say number one is really, you know, extreme, but I honestly, he's probably the closest to it. And if Phoenix isn't banned, I expect SJW to absolutely be the problem with the PO potential that we also have seen SJW with when it comes to making the awareness known for protecting that backline.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Marvel Rivals Ignite Stage 2, Day 2 starts right now as we jump into Extinction versus our very busy at work here. And listen, this is where the magic happens. People like to say a lot of the game is won right here. Well, they're not wrong. I mean, you see a ton of strategy go in. These teams have had time to really get to know each other. And we're going to see what we've got. We expect a lot of strategist Vanguard bans, as always. Emma and Ultron being the first two off the board. Ultron there to kind of shut down zero meta. He did play a lot of Ultron in the MRC, and Emma being that popular ban as always.
And being the protect over on the Magneto, okay, and the Emma Frost being the first one banned from the other side. So already trying to make sure you won't have that Emma Frost team up here with that Magneto too. And Salak as the Adam Warlock is the next one banned from the other side.
Absolutely. Now, looking at the saves, Jeff at the top. Now, it's so funny. I love Ignite, Vicky, because last Ignite, we saw Black Panther being that hero that kind of emerged, and then Self and that whole story, and then Black Panther was everywhere. Jeff was the exclamation point of the finals to win it all. We obviously saw what they did over there with the EMEA team of Old Rad. Jeff is not slept on anymore. I think one of the best strategists right now because of what he can do.
I agree 100%. You see the protect on Jeff, and then you see the ban from the other side understanding, okay, they want to protect Jeff. Well, we're going to make sure they do not play Adam Warlock, just like they banned that from us. We know that that res potential could come in clutch. And even though we've been seeing the triple strategist, seeing the protect on the Jeff after the action we've seen in EMEA, it makes sense as the Ultron's the next to go and the Venom's the next to go. So even if you get the protect onto the Mantis, and in this case, the Luna Snow, at least you still will be able to have that damage boost that the Mantis could provide.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a great point. When you look at domination, we saw this whenever there was triple res, right? You had to play so perfect against these teams that could just res back and have the passive. Still, though, that Adam res is so clutch in this game mode, and so just getting rid of that nonsense right away. Now, Venom, if you don't know by now, Mantis, Venom, Fear It, the symbiote is crazy. We're seeing tons of Venom in not only just pro play, but just top rank ladder. And so, without question, you're going to see plenty of Venom and or Mantis bans today. And then the cat ban, so they're getting rid of Dive completely and trying to get rid of what I think, obviously, they do pretty well there over at Busy at Work.
But then there you have the last ban from onto the Captain America from Extinction, and you know what that means, Cozy, as they protect the Luna Snow. That means the Phoenix is available to play if they so ever wanted to lean into that, as we get to take a look at already a sneak peek with the double support safety that we probably have the strategist, triple strategist coming out.
Yeah, that's a good point. We just said, hey, if he gets to play Phoenix, we're probably going to see them lock it down, and that's the difference between this pick ban system. Reedus locking it, and just, you know, hey, listen, Reedus very talented duelist as well. Funny enough, they're kind of playing the reverse of what each of them played in the MRC here. We'll see if they end up going with it all the way. But either way, Prince, I mean, this team, start to finish, Vicky, is stacked across the roles. And that's why I'm excited to see a team with this much unity against a team that has a lot of great players put together in an Extinction.
Absolutely. Let's get this going here with everybody already locked into place. Of course, we start off our first maps always here in the MRI on Domination, but what map we go into is random as we go into Hell's Heaven to start off our day for day number 2 of Stage 2 Marvel Rivals Ignite.
Yeah, and listen, you know, loser gets to pick the map, so there's a lot at stake here. And getting this first win under your belt, not only just in a matchup, but for all of Ignite group stage, is big. This really helps momentum. The game's about momentum in the match, but also in the big picture of things, right? We've seen teams turn it around, but especially these kind of teams trying to prove themselves. This is where it's all going to matter. We find ourselves in Hydra, and this is a map full of fun flanks and just good times here, as we might get an opening of chaos there with the Penny. I love it. We saw a lot of fun from Dreamland. We'll see more of them later with the strange action, but here we go. Let's get this thing started, Vic.
Talk about Luna Snow skins here. One of my favorite skins that have emerged as of recent. I love the skins that Marvel Rivals has, as we get to see Busy at Work, Regis being on that Phoenix here, Extinction already trying to roll up here from the high ground too, so they want to take an upper ground advantage, as SJW being on that Bucky, and we saw what Bucky could do just yesterday.
That snowball hero, right? I mean, you always have one of your best on it, and so yes, we're going to have that for SGW after all the Phoenix talk about there. Love to see him on the Bucky Barnes. We have Prince now putting the pressure early there. Fantastic Vanguard player, and look for just insane double hits with the diamond form there. But Prince getting it right there on the money. The kick into Legacy to get an opening Vanguard pick. That's huge to get this first point halfway to it.
I love, too, the combination, the classic combination of the Groot and the Emma Frost. You get the drop kick, you slam them right back into that Groot wall. You're controlling so much space. Look at the damage input that we're currently seeing with Regis having that fight up on the high ground. Extinction think that they can roll up from the very beginning up here, and they get shut down together between Regis and SJW.
Just clean. I mean, that's the word of the day right now. That was just an absolute clean, perfect first point cap there, and then you can just look right into the snowball of what we're going to have. Silent Blaze now getting close to their boundary, right? And then everyone's going to follow. They have Axry with the SJW combo if they want to lean that route. And then, of course, on this map in particular, the spawn push is tough. This is a tough point to kind of regain your momentum. We're going to see them kind of take this back alley to do so.
Love being able to see Regis on the Phoenix after we were highlighting SJW, but being on the Bucky, we know how strong Bucky's been so far, and they got 2 ultimates online, almost all 6 here, as they're going to be able to take up onto the high ground. Reverse at least has that invisible boundary, being on that invisible woman here too, but they come up from right around, they see the pick right in front of them. It's SJW who catches out Riku once again.
Oh my gosh, and they're completely stacked, and so getting that pick early is just going to make this near impossible for Extinction. And listen, we've seen teams have to warm up, get adjusted, but this is a rough go and start here. 50% already. Busy at Work has everything online. I mean, quite literally the entire Infinity War ready to come out. Heroes from the portals. SJW gets another pick, and this is why we highlighted him, Vicky. Just an absolute team captain for the team in terms of talent.
It's crazy, too, to be able to see Extinction now lean into the Namor and Hulk team up, too. They'll have some ultimates coming in, but look at this aggression. And I do agree with you, too, Cozy. It's very tough to try to break through the chokehold once you're forced back. You find yourself staggering in, but they have a plethora of ultimates, but they still have to deal with Busy at Work, who have so much in the bank here to just unleash on them.
Yeah, you know, we've coined it many times a day as the Michael Bay special. We get all the lights, all the flashes on. And Biblical gets a massive combo with the whale there. That was fantastic. You're going to see that combo a lot. 2 duelists getting the job done through the strategist ult, and we love that here as Juker, Biblical get a nice double duo hit there. 95% on it, but now we have a little bit of momentum going for Extinction.
I'm expecting them to stall right here, too. Yeah, with both of the tanks still alive here for Busy at Work, the Vanguards hold it down because guess what? SJW swaps back over to the Doctor Strange this time, so that way they have the portal, come back around, and Prince with the dropkick just tries to keep Luke at bay. Riku comes right back around, finds Regis. Legacy has that Magneto Meteor M, and Busy at Work, they're stalling for as long as possible. Is it going to be enough of that damage output after they lost Regis originally, and now Zero Meta going down?
Yeah, they did their job, got to 99, right? So now it's just reset, get the ults farmed up. Everyone used kind of everything to get where we're at now. Legacy is back here and getting close to it. We have Silent Blaze. So at this point, good stalling. You don't need to stall any longer because obviously you've got what you've done with the 99. So reset, get refocused, and now you've got the strategist ult advantage to head in.
Exactly. Silent Blaze about having that invisible boundary is something you want to look at too when you have Extinction having that Meteor M. Legacy specifically wants to be able to try to pinpoint that, and with some help from Biblical, having that Phoenix ultimate we know does just enough damage to delete those shields and try to get that one-hit KO from that invisible boundary. But we have to see with actually trying to approach up on the high ground. The group hug is online.
Yeah, we can see them combo plenty together here. Wondering what Legacy's going to end up saving theirs for here now. Trying to get the good angle. X-Ray now looking to where he can throw this down. Maybe waiting for SJW right behind him. He can get that farmed up in no time here as he's pushing forward. On controller, you can see X-Ray, by the way. There's plenty of lethal pro players on the sticks this time. We saw TTK do it a lot, but now another joins the ranks. Invisible boundary up, Vicky. And here we go. Can they get the point recap? 50% just like that for Extinction. It's going to be a close one.
Ooh, they both did it at the same time, but the damage output from Extinction as Regis follows up, finds a quick little 2K. The Meteor M, though, gets shut down as it not only doesn't find anything, but Legacy goes down with it back into the spawn room door. Busy at Work, outnumber Extinction as they don't have that sustainability. Nice little block here from X-Ray, and they're going to try to desperately retouch the point with the portal.
Yeah, they got to get on this point right away. They open up nicely here. Visible boundary out. Okay, and with the 2 going down, listen, it's okay if you start off a little slow. It's the end result that matters here. This is looking now way more promising for Extinction, who didn't have to use everything to get it done because they're close now with another biblical ultimate, Vic.
I see you in reverse. I saw that, by the way. That pull in onto X-Ray after he had used that group hug earlier today was very nice. Through that invisible boundary, that was the first pickoff that has allowed Extinction to keep their feet on this point. Now going down to the wire, though, last 4 seconds, and Biblical has that Phoenix ultimate online. Overtime ticking away, and Silent Blaze will have that invisible boundary to keep busy at work here.
Would you expect it any other way, Vicky? 99 to 99 now. The momentum going towards Extinction. Here we go. Monster Hulk putting in the pressure early. Silent Blaze forced to put the invisible boundary up. The show is on. Coachella is out. And Biblical, here comes the Phoenix. Will they stop it? Will he get another connection? Yes, Vicky. SJW, the captain, is out of this fight.
SJW has not really been able to capitalize off of the Bucky Kraken impact, and now the Eye of Agamotto after Juker had made that swap to retouch on the points. Legacy's close that meter M, and Reverse gets another KO, this time onto Rita. Zero meta trying to keep everybody from Busy at Work alive, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough with that invisible boundary also controlling so much space.
My goodness, we knew this team had talent, Vicky, but how do they put it all together? It is not how you start, it's how you finish. You get the first point. What a turnaround for Extinction.
All right, Extinction, as we take a look at the mini stats real quick as a little teaser, because Extinction right now, let's talk about how they were able to restabilize, because I think this is very important when it comes to even you guys at home watching. How are you going to be able to make a comeback from your own respective games? They were able to not only regroup, prevent a stagger from happening, but they held on to that economy, even if they were being split apart when they were on the high ground, some of the teammates on the low ground there, and then they were able to make these swaps work out for them with that Hulk and Namor originally before they were able to then swap back over to Doctor Strange to recontest.
Well, it really came down, honestly, to Biblical as well, getting that double piece on the Phoenix.
Oh, yeah.
Just tried to fight back as well as they could, but that is what changed the momentum there. And then the triple Vanguard thing was Juker going to the Strange quickly to get everyone back, but it ended up helping them to just hold that sustainability. Then they won the next team fight, and it folded from there. So crazy job to reestablish, and big-time plays is what's going to win you these things, as we just saw Biblical get one, as we now head into our next point, and we've got SJW on Namor.
Giving a little piece of their own medicine out here. SJW being in the more feels kind of scary, especially with Prince popping off on that Emma Frost alongside Axer being on that Hulk. Gonna try to match that with Extinction, but Legacy does have that Meteor M to wait for Silent Plays once that invisible boundary comes out.
Yeah, I like the swap here and trying to lean into a Hulk v Hulk situation now. Point is about to open up. Neither of these teams are going to give it right to them here as they're facing to the left. Love SJW's job trying to take out what was the big threat of last time in Biblical. Gamma Shield's going up to keep the momentum strong here, and teams are going to rotate to the point. Looking at the old Silent Blaze is close, but we've got the meatball going up, and Legacy slams it down. No connection. Juker trades with SJW, and Juker gets it done.
And Juker took out Silent Blaze before that invisible boundary could even come out. With Ritas now getting called out next here, it's just a matter of time with Extinction going to be able to plant their feet on this point first.
I mean, holy warm-up, right, Vic? Just watch. Looks like a different team from 30 seconds ago. Never mind, you know, in this tournament. What a way to get things just firmly planted. If you're busy at work, you got to be busy at strategy, trying to figure out a new way to approach this team here. Get the picks early. Juker, though, he was the highlight player in Nightmare. When we talked about them in Ignite, people loved him. It's cool to see him back with a new team and doing the same thing.
See if they can keep this going. They're wrapping around. Good Extinction having at least 3 ultimates. Honestly, make it 5 coming up soon with Juker and Reverse with that invisible boundary. Nice little stun, though, onto 2 as now Radius comes in with that Phoenix ultimate with a quick little reset here. Biblical does the same exact thing, except they could have some followers potentially coming in here as he stalls out just for now, and then the Psionic Seduction comes in right afterwards. Invisible boundary from Busy at Work is going to keep everybody alive here as Riku tries to do the same thing with the dance off the Luna. So Juker sends out the whale, doesn't find its mark.
Wow. Okay, SJW. Love to see the patience. Would have liked to see the whale go with the Phoenix there, but they saved it for that moment. Did not connect, and that was a good flip of the script there from Busy at Work. Used a lot to get there. Used an absolute ton because Reverse is there to at least put in the sustained pressure, Vic. So hard to win fights without another, ult of a strategist to help you out. But we're going in. It's 57%, and, stop them before momentum got too out of hand.
Good here. You know how strong momentum is, especially when it comes to domination. SJW had that green light after he saw Reverse go down next, after they got the invisible boundary. But Extinction coming back in with 3 ultimates of their own actually has that reset potential. Being on that Hulk, though, trying to back away, though. They're trying to take a different pathing, wrapping around Busy at work, but they're ready to stop them as the invisible boundary allows them to have that pathway to get right back onto the point.
These two Vanguards are elite. We saw in the MRC just how well they can do here for Busy at work. Haluk, though, does get the trade. Regis to follow on Juker. That's a big pick, but not going to be enough here as the team has to reset. 65% in climbing going into the next fight. They've got what they need to win it. They're going to have to really nail comms communications.
Oh, no.
And look at this stall. This stall is brutal as now finally Bruce Banner is eliminated to go back to the team.
Look how important that was, too. Extinction are nearing 80% right now on the point. That wastes so much time from Busy at work as they desperately now need to retouch here. If their Legacy is going to be able to hold on to that Meteor M for right now, but Juker's very close to getting that whale, and Biblical, too, with that Phoenix ultimate.
We saw it in Marvel. The Hulk doesn't allow Bruce to eliminate himself. Wish he could have there, I'm sure. Now looking towards the Legacy, holding the line down, has the Meteor in, which is going to be an absolute spicy opener here. They're just trying to get that first pick and sustain 99%. We've got the Monster Hulk coming down with the Phoenix, and 2 go down, making 3, Vicky. That is a massive turnaround.
And huge, too, being able to find the 2 strategists first, but is it going to be enough time? Now that they flipped the point, they do have a beautiful ult economy. They did not use everything in the bank here, and Zero Meta is slowly also approaching that Luna Snow ultimate here, too. So Busy at work, having a plethora of ultimates to work with, but guess what? Extinction are the same position right now with 4 ultimates online.
Yeah, I couldn't have scripted better. They only had to use X3 there and Regis to get the job done. Now moving in. All aggression. Biblical has the Phoenix ready, as you said, to combine. We'll see if Juker joins it with Giganto, the whale, now pushing forward, getting nice poke pressure early. And listen, for this particular fight, I just want to see pure aggression here from Busy at work to try to hold the line, see if they can. SJW trying to find that early pick, getting rid of the squids. Nice awareness. You know, you don't see that all the time in your bronze silver lobbies, but pro play, got to get rid of those squids there that could just pump out the damage. Prince now putting out the seduction. This is going to be a good combo maker if they choose to do so.
Caught in reverse just a little bit there, but being safe as the Magneto Meteor M comes down. The whales follow up right afterwards, but their survivability from the fate of both worlds has put Legacy in the driver's seat as Extinction wipe out Busy at work for another round in a clean 2-0 fashion for game number 1.
Yeah, Legacy trying to live up to the name and make their own legacy, and that's a way to start it off. Let me tell you that. I mean, that is such a way to go from ice cold to lava hot as we see Hydra Base explode. The victory screen splashes, and our MVP is Riku. Again, the unsung heroes, the strategist Vicky. Let's take a look at the stats and what defined this story and this match.
Honestly, I got to see Haluk harass Silent Plays and Zero Meta frequently. I mean, if everyone already understands the whole gameplay, the script out here, you know that that's going to be the problem as we get to see Riku popping off with 41,000 healing. Looking on the other side, even if Reverse was right there and still being invisible, trying to get out of trouble with 20k there too, still being able to put in some damage with 7.8k on the Invisible Woman.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I want to say, you know, Busy at work, they did well. You know, if you look at it statistically, you know, they didn't do horrible in terms of what happened, but it was just the way these certain matches went out. And, you know, sometimes we kind of say it was the ultimate fights, right? I love the neutral, honestly. I had to just give to Extinction there. As SJW, of course, the cast of Curse, we highlight them, and then, you know, definitely wasn't the match that they wanted to see. And when a team has played together so long, as we've seen this team do, which, by the way, Vicky, they're the reverse kings, right? They love to be down. We saw that before in the MRC. But I'd like to see that combos and comms really show into light here as we spectate.
Yeah, what do you think about so far the difference between the follow-ups between Biblical's Phoenix Ultimate and then what we had seen from Regis? Regis popped off, obviously, with like 10 final hits there, had over 17,000 damage done alongside SJW. But the wombo combos that we saw from these follow-ups, I feel like were just so much more successful for Extinction.
Yeah, Regis was getting the neutral hits a lot. Tons of neutral eliminations, whereas Biblical was more with the combo or the opener there. And then the follow-up was incredible. But I honestly have to highlight, I want to say I thought Prince and Axer were some of my favorite Vanguard duos, and they still are. But the Vanguard on the other side and what we saw from Legacy and them, I mean, incredible job. That's what stood out to me was the follow-up from that. You know, Regis, I feel like the picks would happen too late, right? And then the team was already, it fell from there. That Hulk Great comms there, having that Hulk, delay to go to their team. Riku, the MVP from Riku here. Luna Snow, you love to see her on your screen as you hear her song all day long, Vicky. What an opener, though, for day 2.
Yeah, survivability with that Fatal Both Worlds at the very end. You see your team lighting up the sky too, with the Phoenix Ultimate following up with the whale coming down. And then you had Riku making sure the entire team stayed alive. That was game number 1 though, Cozy. It is best of 3. And you talk about how sometimes busy at work, they like to stay busy. They have to know what they have to work for here, and they'll definitely know what they have to readjust. Maybe those timings on those ultimates.
Yeah, Prince always did well. I think actually I highlighted Prince as one of my favorite players from the MRC in the Vanguard perspective. Actually, we saw, like, depending on how they played was the definition of this team. And I know we saw in different matches where, like, they would just wow me. And there's other times, and by the way, the man is in a disgusting Venom. So he can go to different heroes, but Venom is what I remember seeing him at a lot. So we'll have to see if they adjusted that, pick bans. If that gets adjusted, we had a Jeff save, didn't see it. We'll have to see. Don't go anywhere, guys. We're going to take a quick break and then get right back to the action.
I'm hunkering down. Judge! Jury! Executioner! Hello and welcome back. After that short break, we are back and we're looking for our next match in the best of 3, Vicky. And listen, I gotta say, I love it. Our predictions, we both said, hey, busy at work. They impressed us a ton in the MRC. It's the caster's curse. And at China, I remember Aaron Mori was like, hey, do not pick us to win. I don't want the casters to pick us. And it's like, maybe it's a thing, but we'll have to find out. But I'm all here for it.
How does this keep happening? But you know what? That's what I like the most, though, because this is why I love MRI here. Because aside from the roster mania that brings in a different taste from these teams, it also not only having the new metas coming into place with Season 4, it highlights how you bring players from these different teams. They still have had experiences either from other games or from other teams, and they bring that experience into one whole team to form what we are currently seeing as Extinction right now. And you and I were talking about it in the break. There is a very clear sign that there is good communication, good IGLing coming in from Extinction. That retake was so clean, especially when they had to deal with an entire like 6-man ultimate that was just hurtled in their direction from Busy at Work.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great point. And looking at it, especially these teams that are lesser known, it's like kind of how they adapt to pressure, and we saw them do just that. And you just pointed it out, being able to reset like that and put it all gas, no brakes is what you want to see out of these teams going head to head. But I gotta say again, we've seen over a ton with Busy at Work kind of come back from behind. They know what they're doing here. They're gonna readjust. But sometimes it's who shows up that day, and right now it's Extinction showing up to extinct Busy at Work here. Is it Busy at Work, B-A-W? We'll have to come up with our favorite here, but we had Jobless Bums last time, now Busy at Work. Love the names in Ignite as we head into our round 2. It's Araco.
Want to see Busy at Work working out in the kitchen because we got to see them start cooking up something here. As Extinction, we go into the pick and ban, facing the Emma Frost simultaneously from both teams off the table. Sorry, Prince, but we know that Prince has other vanguards that they like to lean into.
And we've seen some teams play some fun stuff. This is a big meta matchup right now, right? And so the Imbas are the first to go. Magneto save in there. Look at the flexes on the Lord Blades. Love to see it. These guys are, grinding out the ladder, and they're here in pro play to do so as well. Adam off the table like that. Listen, if you look at, I think it was Juker, I believe, actually last Ignite that played a disgusting Adam, even during the entire chaos of what was triple res. The save, though, okay, the save is going to go to Magneto. I was wondering if maybe they go with like a Venom save to help, Axery and have them swap over. Nope, they're going to go with Magneto.
Yeah, and we can talk about why we keep seeing the pick and bans. You can expect on Araco, as you did see on stage 1, 2, and especially now with the way that the meta is formed, Araco, you're going to expect that triple Vanguard, triple strategist, especially when you're the ones defending, and then looking at which team here, in this case Extinction, coming out on the attack first. How are they going to be able to break that hold, which is why you usually have been seeing the storms. You get the speed boost, you get the power up here, you get the damage boost your team, and you get to rack up that ultimate percentage with no Jeff being on the table for Busy at Work. Maybe we could see something happen here for Extinction if they want to lean into that and also force out some of the strategist ultimates that we're going to be seeing from the defensive side.
That's a great point. Honestly, we saw a lot of metas kind of establish over the last pro scene, and now we're seeing these teams adjust. It was kind of the Squirrel and Moon Knight to get out of spawn, which you can still do that, but having that Storm and that damage boost and just being able to play that hero, that's why teams like, Envy with Speedery are just so dominant because they can play it to such a high level. But to help you get through the triple Vanguard, and I have to say this, Vicky, we saw Dreamland win MRC against Nemesis because they were the better triple Vanguard team in spawn holder, right? And so it does matter massively how well you play the meta.
Exactly. See which one is going to dip the other when it comes to these two teams too, as the double protect on the Luna Snow. I love how both these teams have their priorities straight here. It's either the Magneto or the Luna. What is this last ban going to be from Busy at Work? As we saw Biblical really pop off on that Phoenix last time. It was some help here as Haluk was also on point on calling out the positioning of a strategist when they were trying to harass Busy at Work's backline.
The right heroes
interesting pick bans here. I like the differences. Obviously, some of these are to really call out different bans of what you might want to shut down their favorite heroes, but as they select in here, SJW obviously going to be going and helping with that triple Vanguard front that we saw. Redis, it's always the duelist, one of them playing that rocket, give that respawn rate. It's just massive in keeping that wall, that fortress alive for the Vanguards, quite literally, right? So looking into it, though, the plan of attack here, as we see such a good Lord icon for Angela. If we see an Angela indeed, this is a fun map to have it.
No way. Don't get me excited.
I know.
I know. I love the way that Angela feels when you play her too. I've had a lot of fun playing the new Vanguard here. I know I never get my hopes up. You know how they like to hover over certain heroes here, give us a little tease. But for those of you guys tuning in, welcome here to the MRA Stage 2 Americas. We've had a lot of action going on from around the world. Mia finished it off a little bit earlier today as we go into game number 2 for our first series of the day, Areko being our second game.
Crazy we're in season 4, Vic. I mean, this map coming from season 2, it's just wild to see how fast things have moved along for this scene as we're approaching almost even a full year here in a couple of months of rivals. But Juker is going to be on that Moon Knight like we thought with the damage boost. Moon Knight is an absolute elite hero right now. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Incredible at what they do here. Now pushing forward the pops from the new and improved Doctor Strange legacy trying to match Axry. We saw that a ton here on the last map. Even more now. Teams building up the ult charge. That's what you got to do fast, and that's why Moon Knight is picked all the time here for the opening.
Get that ultimate so quickly, and especially this first point too, just to break this chokehold here. It's a great way to break through the chokehold that the triple Vanguard provides, as you also control so much space. Look at Juker's positioning. While Biblical had too many energy drinks, mouse and keyboard Storm just dancing around the side to get out of line of sight. But the brute hug from Prince built up so quickly. It's a Prince shish kebab as he comes out with a huge wipe onto Extinction.
Okay, Groot. Again, he says we are Groot, and he quite literally means it. I mean, I love it, man. I mean, that is what I thought Prince can do. We saw it plenty. He plays an amazing Emma, but love to see the man now on the tree, though. Backing up, they have plenty to go. Actually, he's got the Agamotto. We'll have to see if SJW gets another pick. They can afford them, right? Because they're on the defense. They can respond fast being on the offense here. Pushing forward, though, I like the approach. Extinction going aggressive here. They've got to hit these, but the Agamotto goes out, Vicky.
Oh, that was huge. That was insane right there. He actually stopped Riku right there at the end while the snipe from SJW. He's had enough. Juker has not really been able to plant their feet. Yes, you unleash a Moon Knight ultimate here, and Biblical is trying to pull away maybe Zero Meta's ultimate, but the Luna Snow still has a fate of both worlds. But that was crazy from what we had just seen, as now Extinction are still struggling to break through the chokehold that Busy at Work hasn't been.
They're doing the Extinction special, you know, taking a little while to warm up here. But yeah, Conchu was asleep there as Legacy does get the solo ult on the Invis. That's massive, but the res, that's where it comes in handy, coming right back to the battle. But that does give a little bit of the pressure towards their way. Haluk going to be frozen there. Nice job from the Luna, pushing forward, getting some momentum. But I mean, this is a rough job. SJW out of the fight. That's going to at least allow them to push down this first ramp, and they do so greatly, getting the strategist out as well, Vic.
Gotta give a little bit of a shout out right there too on the isolation onto Silent Blaze. I believe we saw that Doctor Strange ultimate right onto Silent Blaze, preventing that sustainability from helping out Busy at Work. And once Regis already had that BRB used up, it was just a matter of time as we see something cheeky happening right here.
Counter portal, here we go. We see a lot of team fights happen. Oh, you love to see it. This happens so much more at this scene. Didn't see too much of this in the Ignite Group Stage 1. Group Stage 2 is something completely different, and it stops it, Vicky, from being 3 fights to win the point to potentially 2, which is massive.
Even bigger if they manage to get that pick here, but actually still safe for right now before dropping in from the high ground, but gets pushed back. Doesn't land anything with the Eye of Agamotto, while Haluk brings everybody here together, and Juker now follows up. It was a sacrifice well needed, but with Ritas having that BRB and bringing SJW back, even better of a trade here, as Busy at Work are getting wiped from the floor. It is Biblical and the Biblical show here, and they don't even have to use up any of these ultimates going into this next point.
It was such a ping pong, the Olympi. Did you see that? It looked like it was going one way, Juker, and then Juker gets eliminated, another falls. They bring more back, but then, yes, Biblical able to wipe the rest of the board. That's exactly what you want to see to keep that momentum in those early picks that Juker was able to get there. Now going to the Mantis, and at this point, they're doing the Venom Mantis show. Get ready. They dive the backline. The Symbiote, it is scary. The Symbiote is scary. We're going to see a lot of that now as Prince is going to now take over on that Magneto.
Biblical utilizing the Omega Hurricane, though, trying to force out maybe the invisible boundary, but with it not coming out, they have to afford the sacrifice of SJW. Busy at Work, having the double strategist ultimate, while Zero Meta sets Biblical back in place. So it was a trade-off now, as now Busy at Work are back up to par here, trying to force Extinction back.
I like the aggression, but yeah, trading the duelist for who has the closer spawn for that. Wasn't a big fan, but that's okay. Legacy now does have that Agamotto they can use plenty here. Look for a Luke. We're going to have Venom cams on the ready. I am sure of it, as actually pushing forward. Invisible boundary goes up. Great timing, but we do have a double support ult. Don't love to see that, Vicky. Not good.
No, it's not. But the way that the push and pull has been working out for Silent Blaze, as it's Jeff is coming out. Everyone was trying to stay grouped up together, but it's the isolation onto the Luna. Snow, where is my Uber driver taking me? Well, off to the side here and finding zero meta. That's all you've been seeing, more of these Jeffs coming out to play, and the triple strategist lineup here, as Juker also having that Mantis ultimate with reverse coming right back to heal Extinction.
I mean, imagine the POV of getting thrown off the map as you see Jeff smiling at you in that outfit too. Come on now. Luke climbing the walls, looking for the dive. They're going to get this point quite handily, as he's going to not allow any room for them to push in. Although we do have the match in Venom here. That is a great way. Axer does get the Venom, and goodbye.
Now, a great way to find yourself back in the spawn, more so with the way that Legacy just isolated him. And now you have the Mantis, Biblical with the power up. Talk about damage boost on top of the Star-Lord Legendary coming in, and Extinction. They are just holding forward as they seamlessly clear the second checkpoint.
Yeah, listen, I love Juker. Used to play the Adam role. Now he's playing the Mantis role. And if you can do more Mantis than just put the damage up on the Venom, that's when you've got a special player in your hands. And Juker showing just that. Love to see the absolute domination that we're seeing from this team here. Redis going over to the torch to try to heat things up. Flame on, game off, pushing forward here, Vic. They've got some in the tank. Not a lot. SJW and Silent Blaze are online. But other than that, not a lot in there. And, you know, we do have the Agamotto and the OK. We do have Jeff as well. So it's going to be somewhat close. We'll see which one comes out first.
Zero Meta has been very on point, by the way, on catching out Biblical here. Riku falling incredibly low, so it's a trade-off here, as Prince taking a quick little nap from Juker, putting him to sleep here. But up on the high ground, SJW has regained control alongside Redis being on the torch. And you have to talk about the damage output now that Busy at Work is laying down.
Yeah, absolutely. At least stopping this temporarily. It's been an absolute Extinction show for this first point, really pushing forward with quite ease. Now we've got all, both strategies ults online. We'll hopefully not double ult this time, right? And then you also have all the pressure that Redis can put out in the Phoenix for the backline pick. So I love their ult stand here. They should be able to shave off this minute and 24 if done so correctly. But look out, Juker gets a nasty pick.
Dude, that was off of a sleep right there, too. That was insane from Juker, and they're about to have so much ultimates now, as Juker is going to allow this. Look at where Haluk is going to go with the Feast of the Abyss, but with no follow-up potential, you won't be able to get that KP here, as Busy at Work with full six-man ultimates ready to go. Biblical close to that Legendary, too, but they'll only have 5 ultimates coming in with less than 60 seconds on the clock.
I mean, good gosh, the Feast of the Abyss there is just taking out easily half health or more than half health with that damage boost. Is disgusting. We do have Biblical going up a Legendary. Every single ult is pressed. Qs are ready. 45 seconds left. Biblical trying to get something going, but the strategist keeping the teams up. Great job from there. Now Reverse has 3 of them, just pushing them away from the point at this point in time here. Agamotto going out. Vicky doesn't get a lot from it, and has to back out from it.
Yeah, the freezes too coming in from Zero Meta have been on point, but the invisible boundary now coming in from Silent Blaze, as you got the slowdown that you have to worry about, as the Phoenix ultimate slams down, calling out that you are nothing, but doesn't find its mark, as Haluk falls a little bit low here. No strategist ultimates. They lose out on Juker first, and now Busy at Work feeling a lot more confident. There's less than 10 seconds on the clock for Extinction to get this to the finish line.
Yeah, it all comes down to this, right? 8 seconds. They did the hold that we thought they could, and Prince and this Agamotto is going to be massive. Can they land it? Redis does get the opening pick. He does get a little bit of pressure there on the Luna. Luna is going to go down as well. Redis to follow, and it looks like Busy at Work is going to be able to hold this still, because you have a 10-second cooldown on the Strange once they finish up the rest.
Prince says, you know what? I don't need the Emma Frost. I got the Doctor Strange instead, while Busy at Work having Redis and SJW on the Phoenix and the Torch. You talk about a Michael Bay film here, Cozy? Well, it's literally explosions all over the screen.
Yeah, these teams are stacked very evenly. I mean, it is very close fights you have here, and I've got to say, you can look at it both ways. The leader of both these teams could say, hey, listen, we held them. That's all that matters. But if you're, Extinction, you can say, hey, what a push, guys. We got almost all the way there. Now let's go ahead and hold this team point 1, right, Vic? We're going to see the same thing, the meta of that triple Vanguard, triple strategist. These teams know how important it is, especially on a map like this.
We'll have to see, though, if they can match Portal for Portal, because, Vicky, I got to say, cutting that first point to 2 fights instead of 3 is big.
It's huge. It's also just, I always enjoy it. It looks always so funny here, too. Whenever you have that portal right behind you, you're literally isolated. But you know what was great? Actually, at least managed to stay alive despite what we had seen right there. So being able to have that survivability and your awareness on where to go and just wait for your team to come back around once they're able to get out of that line of sight. Always nice to see how they're trying to re-engage here. But obviously now, Extinction are going to be able to roll out with that triple Vanguard, triple strategist. Of course, you have the rocket, so that way you have that BRB to bring back whoever gets picked off first here in this equation, with Ritas being on that Moon Knight and SJW being on the Storm.
Look at Prince, 15-3, Legacy 15-3, both 16,000 damage, right there matching each other. It's the Vanguard show. That's the matchup I wanted to highlight. That was the difference last time, Vicky. The follow-up, right? Let's see if we see it here as Haluk is stalking his prey.
Oh, the Haluk show? Wait for it before getting that little slam down. Ritas calls him out, though. The Moon Knight says, what are you doing? Can't you told me exactly where you were at before diving right back around. Ritas taking a little bit of that damage, but having Silent Blaze and Zero Meta right there to re-sustain them. But a lot more of some poke pressure, as you can expect, to try to break through the chokehold.
Yeah, already breaking a lot easier there than it was for the opposition. And you've got the Mighty Morphin Moon Knight skin to help it out, right, with the Ritas. I love that for it. What we've got for Moon Knight now, pushing in Prince, trying to do exactly what he just did. Has the ult online already, and Ritas to match. This is such a huge opener so quickly. Did not line that up perfectly, though. Haluk is going to instead trade SJW. You wish to see that different with how fast they got that.
Yeah, physical pain there, too, when you try to get the shish kebab. Now it's really up to Ritas to just try to dismantle this triple strategist backline here, and there's a lot of damage coming out. There goes Duker, though, bringing back reverse on that Jeff with that BRB, so it's used up already. While now busy at work, having Ritas swap over to that Wolverine to try to at least get a kidnap, if they could, onto either one of the strategists here or onto one of the Vanguards. But they have so many ultimates that they have to worry about first. While they get contested here, the Eye of Agamotto only finding Haluk here as everybody unleashes. But then from the other side, the other Eye of Agamotto finds 3, but they get saved up from the invisible boundary from earlier.
Holy chaos. This is stuff all over, and you have different ults happening in duos at a time here. It's going to be reversed now with the Swallow of a group. That's a big one to get there. Off the edge you go. Goodbye, Prince. We'll see you in about 8 seconds. Rita slicing dice and trying to really open up now against this Magneto. Look at this strategy support, keeping them up. Vicky, that is exactly what is the difference maker here, as he's going to now just full send on this Magneto.
Yeah, Ritas has had enough. He's had enough, and Silent Blaze tries to pull him back, try to help him out here. They finally get the double pick, even with reverse having that slight stall that we saw earlier onto Prince, who, by the way, already has that Gru ultimate after what we saw earlier on, but they break through that chokehold, and now busy at work get to start getting busy.
A little bit of the same story, right? We saw them not really able to put those combos together on the domination, and you got to get this one here now. Portal is going to come out, so they're going to get another fight in this, and that's going to make them push into overtime, almost certainly, right? To get this first point, that puts so much pressure on the momentum on perfect play. Prince now, he does have everything lined up to go. They don't have the Moon Knight, but they have plenty of other follow-up. They've got the Groot walls, and sometimes that's all you need. 1-2 go down. Oh, we'll get a trade, Vic, but it's going to be ultimately most likely here. Busy at Work's team fight to lose? Question mark.
Reverse! Whoa, coming in with the sacrifice. It was worth it to get 2 at the very least. That BRB from Juker helped Extinction regroup together even after a very big shish kebab that Prince had laid down earlier on with that strangling prison, and Haluk coming in onto the thing too. They lost out on Legacy, who was about to have that Meteor M, and now they have less than a minute on the board to get to that first checkpoint.
Just insane sustain from this team here in the strategist play here. We've got Zero Meta Prince closing in, though. The 1-2 is what you want. You got the Berserker Rampage. You would think that this is all but theirs. You got the jump off the map. Yep, the reset. Point 1 goes to Busy at Work, and it was a long fight to do so.
Feels nice, too, when you try to utilize the Wolverine and you have help, because Extinction, on the other hand, don't have that Invisible Woman to try to pull Ritas away from the Vanguards. It comes in clutch, but they make those readjustments as we've already seen Extinction go for before. And Prince, he's holding forward. He's already trying to claim a lot of these spaces with the group walls, as well as SJW being right alongside him.
The old tree surprise there, letting people walk in, you know, come to the team here, why not? And then you get hit with all the vines. Now pushing forward, love the approach here of Haluk just putting all that momentum and pressure on them and taking the fight right to them. As now they're pushing this high ground. I like the approach from Prince. He's trying to get this imprisonment that they can have plenty again to follow up. They can go Phoenix. They can go with the Berserker if they choose to, or just the tree. Nothing comes from it. Again, it's that ultimate combination that we're just not finding clicking for them.
Yeah, the bread and butter, you know, when you try to go for some more of these follows. Busy at work, having these 4 ultimates here. Extinction have 5, rather 6 actually coming up instead. They have all the sustainability in case Rita tries to go for a kidnap here and a slam down. The invisible boundary is the first one to try to contest that of Juker being in that Mantis ultimate. The slam down needs to come in with a follow-up though, and with the Meteor M now trying to find it smart, the sustainability is just too much. Then you have a Whale coming in with the Namor and Hulk team up, and actually comes in to find Biblical after he sends out the Whale.
Oh my, defense. I mean, what a great job Busy at work, just surviving an onslaught of ultimate after ultimate here now as Reedus trades. SJW does the same. Juker does get the pick on Strange, but other than that, great job for Busy at work. Honestly, just fighting against what was the onslaught and the entire ult farm of Extinction. So now teams pushing forward, gonna get this next point here. You're gonna have a Namor try to push forward. Lessons the deep used, but is gonna be a little too late. Great recovery, and remember, Vic, they held them. They held them at point 3. They've got 1 point to go.
Getting ever so closer now. They don't have to go to the full finish line here, and that's the most important thing, looking at this time bank and what they have to work with. 2 minutes, less than 35 seconds here, and this is the part where it gets a little tricky. The high to low ground disparity, but it's going to be the Groot hug from Prince. Nice little stun here onto the other side, but here is that follow-up that you were asking for, Cozy.
It came at the perfect time, right, Vic? I mean, right here on point 3 to get through this kind of first pressure push. I mean, that is exactly when you want to shine here. We're kind of seeing the same thing happen from Extinction, getting kind of ice cold to hot. Busy at work. Took a match to do so, but here we are. 2 minutes on the clock. SJW has the Phoenix online. Silent Blaze close to follow. And when you look at Extinction, honestly, if I'm Busy at work, I want to go aggression here, Vic.
That's what they like to lean into. That's what we saw work out for them when they were on the defense here. Oh my gosh, it's like I'm here. He cost his life. Silent Blaze with these pull-ins as SJW follows up. Rika goes out. Both strategists are out. That means the rest of Extinction, the foundation has crumbled, and it's going to allow Busy at work to get even more done here with the distance being crossed.
All in the neutral too, and the worst part, Extinction is almost certainly, sadly and unfortunately, not going to have enough in the tank to stop this because they are miles away from ult. They're just eliminating one after the other. As now Busy at work is gaining their ults, they can use just Arenas if they want to here. They're just dominating the neutral fight on point 3 here, time after time, fight after fight. We have 1:20 and everything comes down. Right now, if I'm Busy at work, push forward. You've got so much advantage.
It's crazy here. The Buckies are out and Juker has a reset, but guess what? Busy at work have everything in the arsenal, and it's the invisible boundary coming in second from Silent Blaze. SJW waits it out just for now before getting that slam down here. Needs to get a follow-up here, but also the save from Extinction. Riku keeping everybody alive as the double Bucky bars comes down and slams down, and Biblical tries to output the damage with the final judgment here. The Eye of Agamotto, can it be enough for Biblical to pop off on this Punisher?
Oh my goodness. I mean, they survived the entire Infinity Gauntlet there, and then it only took just the eye and a little bit of Guns and Justice from Biblical to get the wipe. I mean, they survived an onslaught, Vicky, but Haluk coming in clutch there. And honestly, it's tough. This is why ult, predicting and knowing who has ult and when is so important, because of when to push, when not to. Teams resetting. Love not using Portal, not doing anything fancy here. Prince getting back quickly. This is going to be the neutral fight, which right now, Busy at work has been dominating in this fight on point 3. We'll see if they can do it one more time.
Especially in the neutral, which is the important part here, because remember, they don't need to get this to the finish line. They still have to stay contested here, and SJW also needs to be contested. With the way that SJW has played Phoenix before in the past, it is a problem, and they are going unchecked. Reverse having the invisible boundary next here. SJW does have that slam down to get a reset, and this is what's scary. Is it going to be enough, though? They've lost that on 3 already, and Extinction may be in the driver's seat. There's only so much SJW could do, even after getting that one pick.
Yeah, it looks like Extinction's going to be instincting. Busy at work to the lower bracket, but you do luckily have the team coming back with the portal. If you could get a little bit more sustain, SJW going down, but that is why that pick is huge now as Prince gets eliminated but keeps the team alive there. Oh my gosh, they're pushing them out.
Wait.
They can't get through. They make their way through, but not before Zero Mayhem goes down, and they are just like that, extinct to the lower bracket. Juker now going down, speaking just a second too soon here as they are funneling through the portal to their certain elimination.
Beautiful comms from Extinction and situational awareness. You saw that Busy at Work were trying to roll out from that portal with a rocket BRB. Guess what? That was annihilated. Actually can't come back after utilizing that Doctor Strange portal, and there is no recontest. But I was not expecting this outcome with how clean Extinction looked for our first series.
Yeah, honestly, I'll say this. You know, I think Busy at Work, they were in the lower bracket. That's when they did well. So maybe they're looking to go right back to where they were. But I am so impressed with Extinction as, hey, Caster Curse lives on 2-0 and they move forward. And it just comes down to, first of all, getting that ult at the very end, the invisible boundary from Reverse there was so clutch, keeping the team alive. Then they get the trade there on the Luna, and there was nothing they could do at that point. Busy at Work was one down. It was the strategist, and they were off ult, right? So there's nothing you could do at that point, Vic.
Dude, actually, like, can we talk about reverse damage output too? Like, almost 20k out here. Like, the healing is impeccable when you look at how it was split up with Extinction. Yes, we have that 53k from Zero Meta when he was on the Luna, the 54k here from the Silent Blaze, but the impact, even with Prince getting some of those KOs, we saw SJW, especially at the end, 15 final hits, but then you look at the other side, maybe those final hits may not stand out as crazy. We still have 12 for Juker, who popped off amazingly at the end, but I would have to say Extinction's cohesion was chef's kiss.
I mean, we really only highlighted one cohesion play from Busy at Work, right? It was the Prince to go into it, and it was kind of all gas from there, but then it fizzled out at the end. But I have to just point out, by the way, it's from the losing team, Silent Blaze, 39 eliminations on the Invis. You love to see it. We saw a ton of it, right? But yeah, it really came down in the map on Dom and here. What team just played better as a team? This is a team game, and so you can have all the talent in the world, but it was them that showed up to the test, and I gotta commend that because we've seen a lot from Busy at Work in the MRC. This team has been together. I believe they were all console players before that, and then they came over to here, I believe. And so to have them at this level of play, match them with a team that is more newly formed is just what you love to see.
Yeah, and a team that still has a lot of experience. Like, again, you could totally tell that there is somebody leading the helm for this team, when to rotate in, who to focus on, who to prioritize, what positioning you want to play from, even if you hold back a little bit. And then the timing on the ultimates were the one thing I love highlighting. And then we had that Punisher swap up at the perfect time, by the way, so that way you could build up that final judgment just fast enough where it counted for that final fight. Because obviously when you make that swap, sure, you have that 50% ultimate charge, you build it up just as quickly with the damage output that you have from Punisher, and then having that final judgment was also beautiful.
And listen, it's the battle of the Vanguards. We kind of talked about highlighting the team play. Well, the setup ults come from where, right? The Vanguard play. And we saw it there with Haluk with the honestly, the game saving, the match saving Agamotto there, followed up by the Punisher ult. We saw the kind of the battle of what they would do. Legacy did so much well against Prince, and so that is what my kind of key to the game was. If you want to highlight one thing, obviously I think everyone did well in their respective roles, but it did come from the Vanguard and Juker too. Juker playing lights out there as a flex duelist that can do it all.
Yep, Juker, Biblical too. Like, Biblical was also so on point with the damage output that we saw too, even at the very end with that final judgment. The follow-ups from Haluk, like you mentioned as well. And even giving some props over to the other side. I know we were highlighting SJW, etc., but to deal with what Extinction just did right now, they definitely made Busy at Work busy at something.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, looking at it too, Haluk, it just, I love the aggression. Haluk was always in the back line harassing this team, whether it was the Hulk, the Strange, whatever it might be. And so you're going to see tons of flexibility. And we saw that not only in team composition wise, but just hero pool. You have to have every single hero at your disposal. Hulk being a big one. I think we see a lot of Hulk get banned and kind of ladder because of the team ups. But playing, if you can play Hulk at top tier, I think it's one of the high skill ceiling heroes, and it shows here in Ignite.
Definitely agree there too, especially when you know another team could just roll out with a Namora Hulk composition, because the focus on these bans have either been on the strategist or, as we saw for that final map, actually on the Emma Frost being a priority. So that way a lot of these players can't roll out with that triple Vanguard, triple strategist in the way that they want to try to combo together with an inevitable group.
Yeah, well, listen, we saw Reverse get that absolute game-saving invisible boundary that
led to the end of that. And we have Reverse here with us, and I'm so excited because we get new interviews, new players, and I'm joined here by Reverse. How's it going, man? Welcome to Ignite.
Hey man, thanks. I am so excited. You have no idea how excited and happy I am to be here. My team has been working so hard. We have been performing so bad in scrims. Everyone's been saying we're going dead last. Shout out Riku, shout out my coach, shout out everyone a part of this team, dude. We teed up for this.
Yes, sir. Hey, you showed up today, and that shows, right, Vicky? I've got to highlight and say you have teams, players from all different teams, right? I mean, we saw some of this roster put together. We didn't know what we'd see from you as a team. Me and Vicky talked about 100 times. Is there one shot caller for the team? What kind of breakdown some of this team? Because we don't know you all as well as some of the others.
This team is definitely led towards biblical and I'd like to say biblical. It's kind of everyone. We kind of play our own part. I kind of speak for the back line because we're kind of having we have some silent players on the team. I kind of speak for the back line. Biblical speaks for the DPS, and then we have Legacy speaking for the front line typically, but Haluk's been doing a good job stepping up, especially on game day. Riku finds his voice on game day. I love to hear Juker's voice on game day because in scrims I know they're quiet. They're quiet people. If you know. That's all I'm saying. But no, on a real note though, everyone stepped up today. Everyone did really good, and I'm super, super, super happy for how good, how my team performed all around. It's been awesome.
I love your attitude, Reverse. You popped off so many times too. Dude, Invisible Woman having that damage output, bro, sheesh. Especially during the current stage of where the meta has been situated. You came through 27 KOs.
Oh,
and you got MVP out here too. I know how good that feels, especially.
Come on.
Hey, that's how you get it, man. That's how you get it for the match. You were popping off.
Nice.
You and your team. That's really nice. You guys look like you are in nice form. I also think it is incredibly interesting. I don't know about you, Cozy, to hear how the IGL roles are kind of split between each specific role that you guys play on, which is pretty clean, actually.
Yeah, listen, I've got to highlight this, Reverse, and tell you, I want to know, how far do you think this team can go? You guys are going to be playing the winner of Alani Win in 100 Thieves. Y'all are new. You showed up today, man. So just pump for your first win. Congrats on that. But how far can this team go, man?
We're taking it step by step by now, but as of right now, we just got to lock in. We're ready for whoever. Alani Win and 100 Thieves are both really, really, really good teams, have a lot of really good players. But, I mean, outside of that, there's really not much to talk about. We're just going step by step. We just want to win. We're going to show up. If we lose, we lose. We win, we win. I do want to say, though, shout out Kips. He's been dealing with all of our BS for the past month. I want to say shout out Sugureru. I want to say shout out Yuki. I want to say shout out Valley, Mikey, everyone who's watching right now in Valley Court. I just want to say shout out Snowfall. We're here. We just want to win.
Hey, you don't know when you're going to get back on the big stage like this, right? So getting this win, getting those shout-outs out, man, I love it. I love that you're being the spokesperson for the team right now, who I'm sure all of you guys are so hyped. You've got another, big one here coming up. And when you look at it, how does this team prepare for this moment of something of this caliber, man? 250K on the line, bud.
I mean, we were a pug team going into this, especially for the Ignite quals. We were literally just pugging this out, and once we found out we had the Ignite spot, we really had to lock in. So, I mean, I don't really know how else to go about it besides we're just going step by step. We're just trying to lock in and improve as a team.
Oh man, well we're pumped to see you. I know Vicky and I, we were talking about y'all as the team, as we know a lot of the other players, and I've seen you all kind of put together here in the roster mania, and I didn't know what to expect. Hey, now I do. I know exactly what this team is. It's the bend don't break mentality, and it started there on Domination Map 1. I thought it was over, and you guys quickly showed it wasn't, buddy. Was that the moment for y'all that you're like, hey, we can win this, as soon as you won that Dom and kind of flipped it back?
The second we knew we could win is when we saw everyone hating on Twitter. I just want to say that first. We were not estimated to even get a map. We were not estimated to get anything done. Everyone was just hating on us. Everyone thinks we were going to be the bottom of the barrel, and now that's not even possible anymore. We ruined everyone's predictions for this tournament. That was our motivation to win.
Hey, speak it up, man. I love it, dude. That is what Ignite's all about. We saw that last time. We're seeing it this time. I want to say thank you for coming on. Thank you for just the attitude, how you are, the hype, man. Enjoy the win. Soak it in, then reset. Get right back out there, and we hope to interview you and the team again.
That sounds good. I appreciate you guys.
We appreciate you.
All right, buddy.
Congrats.
Appreciate you. That was one and only Extinction, reverse from Extinction. Vicky, I mean, I got to meet some of these people in China, and so to see these new teams now and people I don't know and players I don't know, I've got to say he might be like the best interviewer that I have not had the pleasure, and just I love the excitement, the raw emotion.
I 100% agree. As we get to see the grade out of our wrong prediction, Cozy, and I just have to double down that reverse is 100% like probably the best interviewer that I've ever had the pleasure of interviewing, because his attitude should